Welcome to the very first day of the Simplify Challenge 2.0. We are creating new energy for the new year or whatever new season you are in of your life. So throughout this challenge, I am going to be decluttering, and I'm also going to be guiding you through the decluttering process for all of these different spaces in your home. So we're going to be doing this together. There's going to be a playlist down below where I'm adding all of the challenge videos to. So after you watch this video, head to that playlist. This challenge is a chance to hit reset and also create more intention in the way that you purchase moving forward. If you have followed me for a long time, you know that I've done a decluttering challenge before, and it was like a big declutter. I cleared out my life. I think I did 14 days of decluttering in a row, and it created really big shifts for me. And I think that that is what decluttering does. It signifies change. It signifies a fresh start. It signifies a clean slate, new energy. But I think that you can achieve that same effect in other ways too. Something that I never really considered the first time that I decluttered my life is how much of a privilege it is to be able to declutter. To have things to cull in your life is a luxury. If you aren't in a place where you feel like you can declutter, feel free to still follow along with this challenge, but treat it more as a cleanse. You can clean and refresh these areas of your life rather than taking things away from these areas. So we're starting this challenge with a wardrobe declutter. The first step today is to find your guiding questions. Guiding questions move you through decluttering with intention, because otherwise you're kind of just looking through things and discarding things at random with no purpose. Create questions based off of how you want to feel in the clothes that you wear. You can use the questions on the screen as inspiration. Begin by choosing your guiding questions. I would recommend picking 1 to 3 guiding questions max. So I actually have guiding questions, and I also have a guiding Pinterest board. This is a Pinterest board that I created early on in the year. You can see we've got a very clear type of aesthetic and everything kind of goes together. So as I go through each of my items, if I look at the Pinterest board and it looks like it won't fit at all into that Pinterest board, it'll end up being something I donate or sell, unless it's something that I genuinely adore, because that's totally fine too. This isn't a good idea if you haven't been cultivating your personal style, because you'll end up getting rid of most of your wardrobe. I know for a fact a lot of the items in my wardrobe will fit into this kind of Pinterest board look, because it's been a reference as I bought a lot of items. I feel like this year I've kind of left it to the wayside though, and I've started to pick up random bits and pieces that just don't really fit me. My 2 guiding questions as I go through my wardrobe are going to be, does this spark joy? And does this make me feel confident and cute? Once you have your guiding questions set, make sure that you have all of your clothes. So this could be visiting the hampers in your house. You could be looking at the laundry baskets around the place. Maybe you're getting clothes off of the line, out of the dryer. Just make sure that you have all of your clothes out and about. This is a thorough decluttering challenge. We aren't half doing it. I had a bunch of clothes that had just been washed that were sitting on the line, so I needed to get those off before I started decluttering. You want to make sure that you've washed all of your clothes, you have everything in front of you. You're not just sorting through sort of half of your clothes as you go through this decluttering process. Now, your next step is to get your clothes out of their homes. So taking clothes out of drawers and unfolding them, taking clothes off of their hangers and putting them somewhere else. I used my bed for this. You can use your floor, wherever you feel comfortable. The KonMari way, which is the way that I declutter, is to organize all of your clothes into their categories. So t-shirts there, camis there, jackets and cardigans, etc. And I think this makes decluttering a lot less overwhelming, because decluttering can get really overwhelming, especially if you have a lot of stuff that's built up over a long time. So on the screen is a list of categories to put your clothing into. This really doesn't need to be organized, just pick things up and throw them into piles. So I'm gonna make things really hard for myself this year, and I'm gonna take things out of their normal space, but also they're coming off the hangers. They're being unfolded. This year has been a stressful year for me, and I feel like because of that, I've accumulated a lot of new things. So I really want this to be a very serious refresh. Like, I am taking this decluttering challenge very seriously. We're playing the Pride and Prejudice soundtrack to really keep the mood up. It's hard to tell, but we do have categories. Here are jumpers and cardigans. We have my one dress and play suit. Shorts, pants, tops and long sleeves. There's active wear, there's pajamas, we've got underwear. Now it's time to sort through your clothing, and there are a few rules to this. So number 1, pick things up one at a time. This is a KonMari based challenge. We are using the KonMari based rules, and that's because they work. This makes you much more thoughtful as you declutter. Secondly, don't try things on. It'll just make you attached to things that you otherwise would have been comfortable separating from. And number 3, let things go with gratitude. So thank these things for the place that they had in your life, thank them for the contribution that they've made to your life, and let them go. I think I'm just gonna gradually move myself around the bed onto pants all the way to jumpers. I've only gone through one category, and this is my to keep pile, and my to go pile is already looking pretty big. Having the Pinterest board just sitting there as a reference has been so helpful through this process. I have definitely bought in more clothing this year than the last few years. One of my intentions for the year was to create a wardrobe more aligned with me, but I think that it's really easy to use that as an excuse to overconsume. Sorting through my wardrobe was a good reminder of how much I have to wear. Here's the to-go pile so far. There's too much for me to go through and show you why I'm getting rid of it all, but like this is from a Halloween costume. I actually loved this top when I bought it, but it's lost its shape so badly and it sits so poorly on me. There are a lot of things that are just uncomfortable and a lot of things that I just never wear, or when I wear them I don't feel good in them. I used to be very into buying clothes, and if you've been here for a long time, you know that. I thrifted every other week and I did big hauls regularly from fast fashion stores. I'm absolutely nowhere near having reverted back to that mindset, but going through my wardrobe was a reminder of how much I have and a reminder to move back towards being more mindful about my spending. I used to look at my clothing vision board on Pinterest whenever I went to buy new items, and I've really gotten out of that habit, obviously, and this was the perfect reminder to get back into it. Don't forget to do your shoes, your jewelry, and your accessories. At some point this year I bought 2 shoes that look genuinely identical. There actually is one that I prefer over the other, but this is what happens when I buy anything and it's last minute. So I bought that for an event, I don't know what it was, and I didn't have any nude heels. I guess I panicked and I was like, what if I don't like this one? What if it doesn't go? Lesson learned is buying anything in a panic or last minute is gonna lead to overconsumption. In my opinion, the absolute winner are these ones. It's how I feel. This hat is super cute for someone who is not me. Sometimes I say to people that big sunglasses make me look like a bug and they don't believe me. Clearly, I bought these online. The next step, and this kind of adds another layer of refresh to this process, is to clean out your wardrobe, clean out your drawers, clean out all of the areas that you've emptied before you go to start putting things back in. You don't really get many times in a year where you've got these spaces free, so you might as well just give them a wipe down and make things feel extra clean and extra fresh. I went ahead and I cleaned out my drawers and got any of the dust that had built up in them out of the way. I also vacuumed around where my shoes live. It gets really dusty around this area. I even went ahead and I cleaned the skirting boards. Now you're putting your clothing back. The best way that I've found for me to organize my clothes is to fold everything that goes on the bottom half of my body and to hang everything that goes on the top half of my body, including dresses and play suits. On my open wardrobe, I basically hang from lightest to heaviest. So camis and singlets to cardigans and jumpers and coats. And that works really well for me. As you go ahead and you put your clothing back, think first about how you choose what to wear. Are you a person that thinks about the weather first? Or if it's always cold where you live, do you think more about the occasion? Work with how your mind works. Possibly the worst way that I've ever organized my wardrobe was by color, and that's simply because that's not how my mind works. I very rarely get up in the morning and think, oh, I feel like wearing a blue outfit today. As you probably know, I'm clearly not a super colorful dresser, so organizing by color doesn't make sense for me. When you're organizing your wardrobe, think about how you think to inform your wardrobe choices, and use that information to organize your wardrobe. My drawers are looking so much fresher. Look at that. I'm still folding vertically. The only way to fold that keeps my drawers actually nice. I'd say my drawers look tidy, I'd say 80% of the time. The only time things don't look tidy when it comes to vertical folding are when my drawers are overstuffed, so I have too much stuff, or if I'm folding vertically and I'm looking at the stuff from eye level. When I'm folding vertically and I'm looking down at the things that I folded, it's just, I don't know, it stays tidier a lot more. I bought all black tights for the gym and I thought it was a really practical idea until I go to look at my tights drawer and I can never tell what tights are what length. And then these are all my pajamas, as well as like thicker layers. My closet looks so empty. There are a lot of hangers, but as you can see, I've also put a few clothes in the laundry basket because I rewear a lot of clothes. Sometimes I'll rewear white and light. And as I went through, I was like, these need to be washed. Like, I wouldn't wear these as they are. Little marks, bit of fake tan, not a cute situation. So I still have more clothes to go on here. That's nearly full, but I'm pretty shocked at how much I was able to get rid of. The next step is actually culling this stuff out of your life through donating or through selling. There are two good choices here. Firstly, donate right now, donate today. Drive your stuff down to the thrift shop. The second choice is to schedule a time in when you're actually going to get rid of this stuff, sell it, donate it. Make sure at the very least this stuff is donated or it is sold by New Year. That's your goal. It's the first day of the challenge and I already feel so much lighter, and I'm not just saying that. With the mental state that I've been in for like the past few months, I think this is going to be really impactful for me. And hopefully it'll be really impactful for you guys too. I'm doing this for both of us. Ugh. I'm feeling good. The very last step is to decide how you're going to filter your clothing purchases in the future. So will you ask the guiding questions that you asked today? Will you have to visualize at least 3 outfits where that item works before you buy something? Will you have to measure it up against your vision board with the look and feel you're trying to create with your wardrobe? So to end today's challenge, decide how you're going to filter your clothing purchases when you go to buy clothes in the future. You have reached the end of the first day of the challenge. This is so exciting. Tomorrow we're going to be decluttering makeup as well as any other skin or body related products. So make sure to join us then. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of this type of content. I'm going to have the challenge playlist on the screen if you want to watch any of the other challenge videos that might be up by the time you're watching this video. I appreciate you so very much and I will see you soon.